Back. Great. Feeling great. It's great to be back out here practicing, back on the field with guys.
Trey, in March, both John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan said that Brock is pretty much the leader in the clubhouse as far as being the starter when he's healthy. When they had those conversations with you about where things stood currently, how did you take it, and what's your approach to the offseason then?
Nothing's changed for me. We've been able to focus on a lot more things that are going to help me. I'd say this offseason versus just focusing on, trying to get back to as healthy as I could last offseason. As far as the stuff with Brock, that's the same thing I told you guys last year at the end of the year. My opportunity is just to come in and compete, and that's all I wanted. So for me, I don't want to take anything away from Brock, and no one should be able to take anything away from Brock. He did what he did last year, and he deserves all the credit in the world for it. Like I said, for me, I just wanted an opportunity to compete.
So what's been your focus specifically on becoming a better quarterback right now?
Everything right now in OTAs, just being as efficient and learning the offense, continuing to learn and grow as the best quarterback I can be.
Trey, Kyle was saying that the finger injury that you had to kind of relearn emotion to make it work with the injury and then kind of unlearn all that. Can you just kind of explain to us how that has impacted your development here over the last couple of years trying to deal with all that?
Yeah, my rookie year was a lot, was definitely the hardest on it just because I couldn't straighten it. It was my pointer finger. I couldn't straighten it after that third preseason game when it happened. So coming through my rookie year and finishing that, like I said, my goal that offseason was just to get as healthy as possible. First and foremost, just be able to get my finger as straight as I can. And felt like I got close to that point, but spent a lot more time, rehabbing that and trying to figure that out and relearn, my grip, throwing everything like that than I did. Versus this offseason being able to focus on the things I need to focus on.
What did you trickle down effect from that? Where it affects other parts of your body that may not be as connected?
Yeah, for sure. With anything, but wrist, hand, arm, shoulder, it all kind of connects, obviously. So for me, it bugged a lot of other things, and it was hard to find a way to throw, finishing off my middle finger, changing my grip, things like that.
What did you get out of training with Patrick Mahomes and Jeff Christensen this offseason?
A lot. Learned a ton. Like I said, I was able to focus on the right things. Just having a better idea. Again, even better this year going into year 3 of what is expected of me, how to run the offense, being able to watch Jimmy and Brock play at such a high level this year. But for me, being able to be around Pat was awesome. Just pick his brain, learn about just the type of guy he is, how he spends his free time, off season, and then more about his in-season schedule as well.
Jeff said that arm soreness started to improve as well. Is that true? Or are you not dealing with any arm fatigue, arm soreness since you worked with him?
Yeah. Hopefully we can finally kill that this year. I thought going back to my rookie year, same thing. I told you guys, it was on me. I didn't do a good enough job of taking care of my body. Going through, obviously coming out of school early, started throwing, through that whole year. Going into my last game in college, and then didn't really stop. Went all the way through the summer, or through the fall, through the winter, through the spring. Got drafted, kept throwing through OTAs. 40 days away, I wanted to be as ready as I could. Kept throwing the whole 40 days away, and then going through the whole season, kept throwing again. So it's just a lot of time that I don't know any quarterbacks that would spend that much time throwing. But for me, I went to work, and I thought that was the best way to do it. But obviously learned a lot from that. So yeah, going through my rookie year, dealing with it. Last year, I thought I was in a great spot as well going into it, but yeah, no issues this year.
When you were in your rookie year, specifically going through all that off-season work into it, did you feel like, hey, the ball's not coming out the way I'm used to, the velocity was down, anything like that?
Oh no, my rookie year, I felt really good until this happened. I think the biggest thing my rookie year was just learning, being able to tie my feet to my arm and tie my feet to my brain and how we see concepts and everything like that. The offense is very specific as far as just tying your feet to your progressions, and no offense. I don't think any offense in the country in college is like that. So it's definitely a learning curve for me. But then, obviously, having to deal with this kind of took some time away from that, and mentally as well.
Trey, you talked about how teams have been interested. There's been some interest in trading for you. We've had those discussions. At any point, did part of you think maybe that wouldn't be a bad thing?
No, No, not at all. I knew where I wanted to be. Even going back, like I said last year, I just want an opportunity to compete. For me, I love it here. I love the coaching staff. I love working with Gracie and Clay and now Clint as well. Love the quarterback room. Love the guys in the locker room. No doubt for me, this is absolutely where I want to be.
When you first got here, Jimmy's a little bit older than you. Nate was last year, but this year you guys are relatively the same age. The three of you with Sam. Is that different? What's the vibe like when you're all at different stages in your career, but generally the same age?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a whole lot different, but it's definitely fun. I had met Sam pre-draft back going into my rookie year, so I got to spend some time with him. I knew he was a great dude, so super excited that he was the guy we were going to bring in, and then bringing in Brandon these last couple weeks as well has been awesome. Just guys I can continue to learn from. Sam's played in a lot of different places, a lot of different systems. Has seen a lot of ball, so for me, just picking his brain on little things. But yeah, it's been awesome. It's a ton of fun in the quarterback room with now adding Clint Kubiak as well in the meeting rooms. I really enjoyed it.
Trey, can you talk about your ankle recovery and how you're monitoring that now that you're back on the field, and kind of how you've regained confidence? Really another important part of it.
Yeah, it's been, it feels like it's been a long process. I do want to say thank you to Mike Sola, especially. He was the PT that I worked with throughout this whole time. We spent a lot of time together, a lot of time with him rubbing on my feet and ankles. So super thankful for that, for him and his willingness to take weekends, travel, whatever it was with me. But I feel like I'm in a really good spot. I honestly don't even feel it or think about it. I'm sure there'll be something, as the season comes up, not anything bad or anything like that, but I mean, with something like that, there can be things that happen, not, missing time or anything with the soreness and things like that, so just continue to work through it and learn as I go, figure out what works best.
What point during this offseason did you feel 100% healthy? Finger, ankle, everything, and how does that help you going into this season?
I don't know exactly when, probably towards the end of March, I would say, is when I was 100%. And yeah, finger was probably a past thing throughout this whole rehab process for most of it. I felt like it got to that point, pretty close to that point after my rookie year, after that offseason. But yeah, it's been awesome offseason for me, just being able to spend time, finally getting back to football, finally getting back to being around the guys now.
Brock said that you helped him out quite a bit last year as he was playing. What kinds of dialogues did you guys have during those games? What kinds of things did you share with him that maybe helped him through some of those late season games?
I just tried to just be an ear for him, just to listen to whatever he's seeing and whatever he's processing, how he's seeing things, and just educate as much as I could and help. And obviously, I haven't played a ton of ball. He's played more games than me now. But for me, it was just like being a friend. Honestly, a lot of it throughout ups and downs, plays and drives and things like that. It's just for me, I just want to be there for him, whatever he needed.
Have you played out your plan for this summer? What you're going to do when OTAs are over? Where you're going to train? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, pretty close. I saw everything about me going to tight end unit, so I'm excited for that. Finally making it this year. I couldn't make it the last couple of years. I'm so excited to go down there with those guys and hang out and throw some balls at George and those other guys. But yeah, I'm planning on working with the same people, going down, just trying to lock in again and hopefully have to be even better like the next training.
So much are you itching to get back into game action, whether it's preseason or regular season? Obviously, you got to take advantage of time just to prove yourself back on the field level.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really just trying to be where my feet are, trying to live in this moment, be as present as I possibly can. I've enjoyed it. It's been awesome. It's been really, I was just talking to Curtis Robinson actually about it. It's like, I really feel like I'm having fun playing football again. And it's hard my first year especially, and then last year, I thought I'd be able to get close to that point, not having to be so stressed and worried and have a better understanding of offense and defense. And I finally feel like I'm able to just have fun and enjoy it again. Obviously, there's ups and downs, and there's stress and anxiety that comes with playing a position and playing football. But this is the best I've felt for sure.
Some veterans come to OTAs and do just a little bit and take their own pace, and some don't come at all, and it's voluntary. But it seems like McCaffrey sets a pretty torrid pace out there, and I'm just curious as to when a veteran comes like that, one of your best guys, and he's out there, you run at the end without even helmets on, but he's out there going like it's 100 miles an hour. What does that do for everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, he sets the standard. He's quickly grown into a great leader in our locker room, and I think a lot of guys had a feeling that would happen pretty quickly just based on who he is and after meeting him, how he carries himself. Just very impressive human being. Some people call him like a little Bosa, the way he's just so meticulous with his routine and how he takes care of his body. And I've learned a ton from him, not only football, but being able to talk ball with him is awesome just because he's seen so many different offenses and defenses and looks. But for me, just being able to be around him as far as his routine and how meticulous he is, like I said.
Trey, you've been through a lot in your young career. You talked a little about the stress and anxiety of the position, but you've dealt with a lot of ups and downs. What do you do to take care of your mental and emotional state?
I do a lot. Thankfully, I'm really close with my family. Me and my little brother, my parents. I meet with people to help me, I say, set my mindset for the day pretty regularly. So for me, it's just being able to find ways to live in the moment, I think is one big thing that I focus on this year, as well as just realizing like how blessed I am to be in this position. I say it every single day. Like, I'm playing the NFL. Hopefully, obviously, I'm playing this for me to get on the field this year and really get this thing started. But gratitude is what I kind of bring everything back to. Just kind of bringing everything back into perspective.
Are you talking about a sports psychologist?
Something like that.
Is it
Yeah.
provided by the team, or did you find these?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both?
Yeah.
All right.
It wasn't provided by the team, but someone that I knew, someone did through the team.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it wasn't like that. You need to go meet with someone. I feel like I'm pretty positive. But yeah, it's helped me out a lot, and just super thankful to be here.
Thanks, Trey.
That's it for today. We'll see you next